There are some days when it's kind of hard to smile. I know. I get those too. And if today was one of those days for you, where it was just going to be difficult to feel happy, glad, joyful, or anything close to it, where your heart was feeling the opposite of all of those things, and maybe with such intensity that even the possibility of ever smiling again, it just doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen. The very last verse of Psalm 32 says that there's one type of person who always has the God-given right to rejoice, but only a particular type of person. It's not everybody. It says, rejoice in the Lord and be glad. So he doubles down on it. Rejoice in the Lord and be glad. So that's not only the outward expression of joy, rejoice in the Lord, but the be glad, which is the inner feeling of joy. Rejoice in the Lord and be glad, you righteous. The righteous are the ones who have the God-given right to rejoice and be glad. And I suppose you would imagine that they would, because they're righteous. And I don't know that we use the word righteous so much anymore, but it's a synonym for perfect. Nothing wrong. It means you have the right to feel right about your life. Like your life is all right, no matter what's going on in it, and your life is going to be all right. That's what righteous means. And if you were to base the connection of that title with your life, based on how you feel or what you've seen or what you've experienced or what you've lost, I bet there wouldn't be too many days when you would feel righteous. If you were to base that, associating that title with your existence based on your performance, your obedience, your goodness, on some days you'd feel better than others, but I think you'd have a hard time finding a day where you were entirely righteous. Rejoice in the Lord and be glad, you righteous. So there it is. But that's not bad news, because of a wonderful passage the Apostle Paul shares with us in the book of Romans. In the book of Romans, in chapter 5, in verse 19, it uses the word righteous. And it says, through the obedience of the one man, and that one man he's talking about is Jesus. And of course, he was perfectly obedient in every way, never sinned, never made a mistake. Through the obedience of the one man, the many are made righteous. And the many that he's talking about are the many who need forgiveness, the many who need a Savior, the many who sometimes need a reason to smile again, the many to whom God has given all of those things. Through the obedience of the one man, the many are made righteous. And who does God give the right to rejoice and be glad? You. Why? Because even if there are things that you hold against you after today, God doesn't. Even if there are sins that other people are holding against you, God won't. Because even if your life is too much for you, it's not too much for the God who loves you. Because even if this world sometimes feels like the opposite of heaven, Heaven is still coming. Jesus prepared it just for you. And he's not going to let you go until you get there. Through the obedience of the one man, the many are made righteous. So even if it's hard to smile, you can be glad on the inside that your God knew you would need a gift like that, and he gave it. And if you have an opportunity, you can even express a little bit of joy or just a little bit of smile on the outside. Knowing that somebody else might need to see it. They might need to see the same thing that you and I get to see. Only at the cross. Only in the empty tomb. That your life is in good hands. And you'll never be in a place where it isn't. Rest well tonight, my friends.